Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you the news and, of course, a normal live stream with a multitude of videos ranging from a variety of topics here at 2:40 p.m. Friday, March 14th. So happy Friday to a lot of people directly out there that may just so happen to come upon this stream. So as the title basically tells you, you're going to look at a inside video from the gym where you have parents and many others that end up somehow some way finding out the fact that the guy pictured ended up putting a hidden camera into the locker room of the teenage girls there. Again, this is stuff that I've talked about before. I've tried to warn parents about before, and seemingly enough, nothing ever gets done, and guys like this seemingly get very little to no time at all. So here we go. Hey. Right? So yeah, one moment of them basically finding out you had nobody directly by, I guess, maybe the location where he is, because I see somebody in white standing directly at a door with their arms out, trying to, I guess, stop people from going directly back there to wherever this guy was specifically at. The other thing I want to point out to people is this, right? It's quite amazing to me how the school system will always try to defend, or they won't properly address, or they will never have the exact same reactions as the parents would normally have, right? Because if this happened to any of you guys as kids directly out there, where you found out that the guy pictured had a hidden camera in a girl's locker room, everybody, even if you might not even have kids, your main reaction is like, oh, I'm about to go see this dude real quick. We about to go have a real nice, conversation, right? But for whatever reason, the school system is, oh, hey, guys, we understand that this is a certain type of situation. No need to, overreact, violence. We're going to get, police involved. We're going to do our own internal investigation. Like I said, the school system is in this too, because the exact same person he is, you have within the teachers, you have within other staffing coordinators, right? Within coaches, you have this in the higher ups when it deals with the superintendent, the principal, and all of this, right? They are within and throughout the school system. And then not only that, you also have people that are in law enforcement. You have people that are on both sides of the law when it deals with the DA or it deals with the defense. You also got the judges as well. You got people internally that know about these situations, and they proceed to not do anything at all, right? But let's look at what the news has to state.
Arrest warrant issued for a former security coordinator in Milwaukee High School accused of putting a camera in a locker room. According to the criminal complaint, prosecutors are charging Fernando Bustos with invasion of privacy after they say he placed a camera at Cristo Rey High School near 19th and National in the Mitchell Park neighborhood. The complaint says officials in Bustos' office found a small black camera and an SD card with hundreds of videos from inside the locker room. The complaint says that locker room is mainly used by teenage girls. Prosecutors say 379 of the videos have timestamps from October of 2024. Bustos is not in custody at this time. We've reached out to the school for comment and are waiting to hear back.
Right. So let's just rehash over the information, right? So they said a former coordinator at Cristo Rey Jesuit High School in Milwaukee faces felony charges after allegedly installing a hidden camera in the girls' locker room. Fernando Bustos, age 41, of Greendale, is charged with invasion of privacy using a surveillance device involving a victim under 18, which is a class 1 felony that carries up to 3 years and 6 months in prison. School administrators discovered hundreds. Let me just reinstate that, hundreds of videos on an SD card found in Bustos' office after his termination in February of 2025. So we're in March, right? So this happened back during February, but yet we're just in a sense now hearing about it at this moment in time. And that further proves how the school systems, law enforcement, and the courts move when it deals with kids directly out here. The video recorded between May of 2024 and February of 2025 showed female students using the locker room facilities. According to a criminal complaint, surveillance footage shows Bustos installing a motion activated camera inside of a locker room with gates positioning it to face the bathroom sinks. According to court documents, Bustos recorded hundreds of 10-second videos of high school girls using the locker room. Quote, a few videos show female students in their underwear and bra. One high school girl is soon seen partially nude while taking off her bra. However, that video only captures her backside. Police conducted a sweep of the school but found no additional hidden cameras. School officials confirmed that the locker room is used exclusively by female students in grades 9 through 12, with mostly under 18. Bustos is scheduled to appear in Milwaukee Circuit Court, and the investigation remains ongoing. And this was a statement from Cristo Rey Jesuit School. Quote, in early February, Cristo Rey Jesuit terminated one of its employees for performance reasons. That's crazy just to even name it that. You should just call it exactly what it is. On February 18th, while cataloging items left at the school by the terminated employee, Cristo Rey Jesuit discovered personal recording devices and stored video files of students and staff members, which appeared to have been made without their knowledge or consent. We immediately notified law enforcement and turned over the devices and files. A law enforcement investigation has unfolded. We have learned that some of the video files contain footage depicting students near the hand washing area in our girls' locker rooms. The police have confirmed to us that the footage that they have reviewed at the time includes individuals in undergarments, but does not contain nudity. It doesn't matter if it does or doesn't. It's the fact of the matter that you got this grown individual, which you hired, which decided that he wanted to, put all of these cameras directly up there and yada, yada, yada. And the most that you got to say is like, oh, we fired him for performance reasons. Huh? Word? Like you're not even going to specifically tell people everything that took place. How about what if some of those performance reasons, what if he was, potentially trying to date, right? Or whatever with one of these students, right? Because that happens in high schools. Do you think that the school system would specifically tell you? No, they're going to use broad terms, different types of words in order to hide what specifically really went on, as you were able to hear directly through the article. Again, which is crazy, which is 100% crazy. And then going directly back to the footage from inside the gym, the fact of, if you look to the center of the video, you'll see a couple of people which appear to be staff, right, trying to block people from moving directly through the doors, blocking them, because you can start to see parents and other adults starting to really pile up after they heard what took place, right? And then you have somebody trying to open up the gate to try to get back there. Like I said before, man, like they have every right to act the way that they're acting. They have every single right, because you don't know. I tried to tell people, tried to warn people for years. I'm like, these people will try to get hired or work directly in these schools because they have full access. They have full unbridled access to do whatever it is that they want to sit up there and do. And underneath the school system, they got that large umbrella to basically cover them and to shield them from any type of behavior such as this. Like I said, there's no reason that any of the school staff should be trying to block the parents from trying to get to the guy or whatever. They have every right to do whatever, because this guy wanted to do whatever, right? He wanted to disrespect the trust and the faith of the parents and the students to do whatever it is that he wanted to do. This is why I tried to go through a lot of times on this platform, on both platforms, to tell you guys, like, hey, you got people on Tumblr doing this, you got people on TikTok doing this, you got people on IG doing this, you got people on YouTube doing this, you got people all over social media doing this. Wherever your kids are on social media, these exact same sick people are there monitoring and watching your kids. But do you think that any of these companies, do you think that the school systems or whatnot or whatever care about any of this stuff going on? No, they don't. No, they don't. This is why they always have some type of vague excuse when it deals with staff when it deals with teachers or principals that happen to get caught doing any of these things. And then they want to try to make sure to separate themselves from that person. You can't separate yourself from that person when you hired that person. You quote unquote did the background check. You were supposed to be observing and watching this person, but you weren't. Right? Like I said, it's crazy. Shout out to anybody that's here right now. We got what? Pink, we got Hack, we got Bungani in the building, we got Mo, we got Sir Nick, we got Del Monte. What is up? What is up? What is up? Like I said, all of this is crazy. This is it's full on complete nonsense. How a lot of these things transpire and how it takes place and how the adults there refuse to, take any type of responsibility for what took place. Sophisticated said, yeah, I posted this story on one of my social media outlets. It's a legend, so I don't know if he was convicted yet, but it's sick. Oh, you're saying it's alleged. I got you. No, it's not alleged. It is not alleged. It is on mainstream media news, and it looks like he will be, depending on what's going on with the devices and everything. They said it's a class 1 felony, and it carries up to a 3 and 6 year prison term. And I want people to understand that this is the normal occurrence when it deals with the court system and children. Whenever these types of people get caught doing what it is that they are doing, the court systems will give them the least amount of time possible. But yet, if there's somebody out there stealing like a loaf of bread, guess what? They're getting 40 years to life. This further clarifies the fact that these systems do not care about the kids, because 9 times out of 10, the same people that are prosecuting, the same people that are handing down the sentencing are the exact same ones that are into the exact same things. If you are able to get a transparent view of a lot of the people that are in law enforcement, a lot of the people that are in the school system, a lot of the people that are nurses and doctors, a lot of the people that are lawyers, a lot of the people that are judges, if you were actually able to look at their social media, all of their accounts, you would see the type of disgusting and abhorrent things that they are part of and that they like every single day. But you don't just happen to hear this up until they just randomly get caught. Like the videos that I just went over in the article that I just went over. Like I said, it's crazy work. But again, it's up to the parents to actually care, to actually put forth any type of action necessary to make sure that these things don't transpire and take place within the school system. But it is what it is. But let's go to the next video dealing with the school system.
We stand with you. That's why we're here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
So what I wanted to do there, I wanted to also showcase the fact, this is about the umpteenth time that I've had to showcase this. It stated that Everett, after believing that she was being wrongly accused of purposely attacking another track star, right? You had hundreds of people that came to show love and support to the track star that committed the act of bonking another track star, female track star, on the back of the head with a metal baton, giving her a concussion, causing her to fall down on the side of the track. And in both videos, I actually understood that the father is actually there, right? So the father is present, but the father is not making his daughter accountable for the actions that they committed to. But the father went on there with his wife, and he wanted to sit up there and state, he was like, we got to go to this court appearance 3 hours away into a whole nother area of which these people hate our guts. Well, guess what? People wouldn't hate you if your daughter didn't commit this act. We got a multitude of angles showcasing the fact that your daughter, the baton was not caught directly anywhere. She literally had her hand in the air after the young girl ran forward a few lengths. Bow, banged her on the back of the head. And it's not like the daughter sat up there and stopped and was like, oh my God, I can't believe that this happened. Let me just, get off of the track. I don't even care about the race. Like, this was an honest mistake. Let me get off the track with her and make sure she's okay. Let me help her up. Let me try to, help carry her to the side. It wasn't none of that. That girl kept going. And you're going to sit up there and try to tell everybody, you're going to try to play in front of everybody's face by way of using mainstream media. And you're going to be sitting up here boohooing and crying. And your parents are co-signing this madness. This is crazy. Then the mom got up there like, yeah, my daughter's not like this. She would never, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Like I said, we're not looking at hearsay. We're looking at video footage of a multitude of angles. And this is why I made sure to put at the bottom of the screen, Furious track star, right? Everett, charged with baton assault, and she vows to fight the criminal charges. There's nothing to fight. You need to take that directly on the chin, champ, and do better. Like I said, there was no mistake. You did that with every fiber of your being. You obviously was not fast enough. The girl came right behind you and she passed you directly up, and you were like, nah, that ain't about to happen. Bow. And you just sat up there and took her out. What was that white girl name? What was it? Nancy Kerrigan, whatever it was. Like, yeah. That's basically the exact same thing. You knew that somebody was better than you. So it's like, I ain't trying to see her on the ice. So when she goes behind this curtain, let me and so-and-so going to get this lead pipe real quick and take her out. Crazy work. And I also try to highlight a lot of this nonsense going on, because if you got girls like this that will decide to do this, it's two things that can happen in life, right? Number one, girls like this will inevitably end up having kids. If she has a daughter, she's going to teach her daughter to do the exact same thing. Number two, if she decides to get a boyfriend and she doesn't like what the boyfriend is doing or how he's talking, she's going to decide to sit up there and lie, get on national TV, and start crying and boohooing and acting like a victim when she's not even a victim at all. Like I said, I gave you guys another female track star, way older. She's in her 20s, right? Female track star did this to a black football player, lied on him the whole nine to try to get his multi-million-dollar contract from Nike taken away and everything. And then it was proven that she lied. But do you think that anybody in the media is actually going to care about that? Nah, because it's a black man at the end of the day. So, yeah. So, like I said before, for anybody, raising sons directly out there, good luck. Good luck. But let's continue, since we're on the, on a different route here, dealing with black people, right?
Topic I know you want to talk about. Let's talk about
yes, so it's this topic that's been buzzing in.
Yeah.
I can't say it's been buzzing in my house,
but it's been buzzing about your house.
It's been buzzing about our house. And so my wife came out and talked about how we split things 50-50 in our home.
Yeah.
And so it became a big conversation about, men and women, who splits 50-50, who pays the bills and all these things. And then she recently came out and she said that she's in her soft era now, that she don't want to do 50-50 anymore. And I'm the kind of person, Jenna, that when my wife came to me and, we had a conversation about not everything 50-50, but, buying our house together, doing certain things for our family together in a 50-50 situation, I was like, sure, baby. Yeah. If that's what you want to do. And if she come to me and she say, I don't want to do it, I'm like, sure, baby. If that's what you want to do. Now, the house may be a little smaller. Yeah. If we just going off my salary. Yeah. But it's all good. What about you?
Wait, hold on. But then we have to watch this clip because we want to hear what her talking about it. Let's listen real quick.
I famously said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't and I need him to be 100. It's brought us closer because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
All right. So she's in her soft era.
She's in her soft era. And I understand when we moved from Miami, we moved to LA, that's when we went to 50-50. And not in all things, everybody. Like I pay for a lot of things, but in the big things. And a lot of it is my wife has went out and she's been working on her entire life since she was 19 years old for her own things. And so, you know, we kind of had a conversation. She was like, well, I can pay that. I was like, well, do your thing then.
This is the thing. It's a multitude of things that's directly crazy when it deals with this situation. Number one, I want to talk about the fact that for whatever reason, within the Black community, and again, some people may take offense or, you know, how it is. I don't know what to tell people. The thing I've noticed over time by being on social media and looking at a variety of different platforms of actual real people talking, not AI, as a lot of people like to say, what chat GP, whatever. I've noticed the effect of when it deals with the Black community, specifically straight Black men, straight Black men have been demonized, right? If you're masculine, if you are logical and you're trying to guide and lead people in a certain type of way that is going to help them out, right? That's going to be pretty straightforward, shooting directly from the hip, right? Seemingly that's been demonized. And a lot of people in the community want straight Black men to be feminized, right? They want to emasculate them. And if people pay attention to the body language directly dealing with Dwayne Wade, you will notice a variety of things happening. You can't specifically see it here, but pretty much all of his fingernails are directly painted, right? The mannerisms are way more feminine than what they would normally be. Like if you look at Dwayne Wade when you saw him in the NBA, you wasn't seeing none of this. You wasn't seeing him just all over the place, you know, clutching the pearls. You wasn't seeing him painting, you know, the fingernails. You didn't see a lighter tone, I would put it, when it is that he speaks or a certain way where, like, even in this interview, there's a certain type of cadence that is directly there that I'm like, it's a little bit odd, because I'm like, this wasn't here for the duration of your basketball career, right? In interviews or whatnot, it was a whole, you know, type of different energy. It was a whole different type of stance. But then it was like, once the whole thing happened, you know, with the child there, it was like everything started transitioning and changing. But as I told people before, when it dealt with the relationship, which was again stated, you got Gabrielle Union, who was in her quote unquote soft girl era. That doesn't make any sense. I want people to understand that when you have an era, eras can start and then eras end, right? So whatever period of time that she's in right now, this is just that's just that, right? She wants to be feminine, right? Quote unquote. She doesn't want to be the masculine person that she has always been, and in certain instances presented directly out there to the world, right? Sort of in the same exact stint of a Jada Pinkett, right? Same exact thing. Only difference is Jada's not trying to sit up there and be on there like, I'm my soft girl. Like I said, that's crazy to me. If you as a woman are presenting yourself as masculine, if you as a woman are stating that you are the man in the house, all this, you need to stay just there. Guys don't get to sit up there and take a break. And this is why I try to convey and tell a lot of women directly out here. If you want to be the man, if you want to be the king, you want to be a champion, then you have to stay just that. There is no left or right to that role. You got to stay strictly there. There's no, you do this up until you die. That's it. You don't get a chance to sit up there and take a break, or to dethrone yourself, or to take a rest, or to have somebody else, you know, do that for you while you just decide that no. You have to sit up there and do this role up until death, up until you're in the casket. That's normally how it works for men. No matter if we want to or not, that's exactly how it works. And this is why I've always had a problem with women stating that they are the man or whatnot or whatever in a relationship, because women have the ability to decide to, oh, I don't want this role anymore. I don't want this branding. I don't want this title. I'm going to sit up there and take a break. I'm going to put this crown directly down and I'm going to take a vacation. Women have the ability. Women have the luxury to be able to do that. Men do not. Men do not have the ability or the luxury to be able to do it. But like I said before, you go on social media all the time. What have you seen over the years? You'll see a lot of women go out there and state that, I make more than a man. I can do anything that he can do. I can do better. All this other type of stuff, right? And then you'll see the next day, women are like, I'm tired of working. I'm tired of working 2 jobs. I'm tired of paying for the mortgage. I'm tired of paying for the bills. I'm tired of paying for groceries. I'm tired of doing for myself. And I'm like, that's crazy, because I'm like, guys don't have the option or the luxury to be able to do that. We just have to do. We just have to do. We can't sit up there and cry about it. We can't whine about it and go on social media and start getting 100,000 people to donate 10 grand, 20 grand, and 50 grand because we're crying about how tough life is. That's crazy. Life is tough for everybody, but only some people can profit from that quote unquote victimhood directly out there. But the main point that I wanted to bring up is the fact of the emasculation and the feminization of straight black men directly out here. And then the fact that a lot of women will turn around and sit up there and look at the black men and be like, oh, where are the strong black men? Where are the masculine black men? Y'all pretty much got rid of them because you didn't want that. You didn't want a guy who was going to be a leader. You didn't want a guy who was going to direct you, tell you directly what to do, and all of that good stuff. You didn't want that because you stated that you were the head of the community. You were the whole backbone. You did everything, yada, yada, yada. You're raising this, you're raising that. You're making the most. You're the most educated. So there you go. So anything, nobody can go above that. People have to fit below that. And then while fitting below that, they also have to become something that you would actually like and not hate. And that's what I've learned over time. That a lot of people hate straight black men. But when you're feminine, right, when you're not masculine, everybody loves you. All across the board. They'll bring you directly on TV shows. Women will sit up there and talk to you, all this other type of stuff, and you get all of this type of treatment. But if you're masculine, oh, it's like, oh, no, we can't do that. You get treated like a leopard. You get ostracized. So then when those in the community want the adult black men to act that way, how do you think that they're going to convey that message or treat that message directly to the younger black men coming up or the young black boys coming up? They'll start putting these messages out there where they want you to dress any type of way, right? It's fine to be this, it's fine to do that, all this other. They're literally pushing messages directly out there, not allowing the kids to actually develop and to figure out what it is that they are or what it is that they like. They're just pushing messages and teaching these messages. Crazy. Like I said, you got grown adults out here just robbing left and right. But nobody really wants to talk about it. It's crazy work. It's crazy work, 100%. What is that? Reba Fluff said, is that D Wade? Yeah, that's him. That is D Wade and all of the whatever glory he has at this moment in point. Like I said, that's a crazy situation that you got to go on a talk show and you got to talk about what it is that your wife stated. You got to literally have that conversation with white people. That's some crazy work. You're in a quote unquote black relationship, but you have to go on white networks to basically explain what it is or the circumstances of your marriage and or your relationship to white people. Brother, you can't make this up. What was that? You said I'm overthinking it. It's not that serious. No, actually, see, that's the thing. I don't know what to specifically tell you. You might not even be a black man. I don't know. But I'm speaking specifically as a black man. It is that serious. Because I'm watching different things take place within the black community when it specifically deals with black men, young black men, and the black boys growing up here. Like I said, it's crazy to me. It's not that serious for other people that don't actually see it, that don't specifically understand it. So, like I said, leave it there. Like, that's some crazy work. And and that's why I prefaced this before, where I was like, yo, some people are going to have a problem with what it is, and I'm saying it is what it is. Like, that's crazy work. Like, there are literal different types of messaging that is played. And I've showed this even in cartoons. There's literally messages in cartoons that are trying to point kids in a whole direction. As I stated to people, I'll put it to you like this. Even going to the effect of let's go with the messaging, right? Even going to the last Power Rangers movie that they had, because I got to break this down just a little bit for people, right? In the original Power Rangers, Billy, the actual actor who plays Billy, he was gay during the time, but it wasn't out there like that because, again, he was a Power Ranger. So he was not specifically masquerading, proud to be gay and all this other type of stuff. He played the role as a straight male character. That's what he did. The same thing with with the I can't even think of his name from Star Trek. Sulu. Some people might know if you know the 60s Star Trek, right? Both of those gay men played the roles as they were presented, which is a straight male, not gay. Right? That's what they did. So what the movie did later on, I think it was like the 2017 Power Ranger movie, the most up-to-date movie. They were like, no problem. We're going to sit up there and make one of the Rangers gay, and we're going to put that directly in the film. It had nothing to do. It didn't move the trajectory of the film. It didn't do anything to boost the credibility of the character. It didn't make the character more powerful. It did, like I said, it had zero to do with teenagers with attitude. Zero to do. Zero. But yet they still decided to put that in the film. For what reason? For what reason? If it didn't have anything to do with the character plot, the story, anything, why put it in the story? Like I said before, an agenda. It's the exact same way of when you look at a lot of these cartoons. Well, I'm sorry. A lot of parents don't even watch television with their kids. But a lot of the cartoons that your kids watch, they have a lot of questionable scenes that they will decide to place in there that have nothing to do with the story in between two male characters. But it'll be under the disguise of just, oh, it's just, funny. It's just this. It's just, nah. You're trying to internally, mentally get these kids programmed and get them comfortable with these types of things, which they shouldn't be. They're kids. They should just be worried about ha he funny and ABC's 1 2 3s, 2 times 2 is 4, and all this other type of that should be the main thing that they're worried about. But like I said, you have adults that have their own prerogative, that want to send out their own messaging. So because, they were not able to receive a message at a certain age, they feel that it's okay that they're in this higher up position to now give that message to other impressionable kids. But like I said, you got people want to say I'm overthinking stuff, as if messaging or hidden messaging does not specifically exist in any types of forms of media. Crazy work out here. Crazy work. Let's go back to another one. Wasn't it like back in the 80s when white people were the main ones that were suffering with HIV? But yet somehow, some way, the poster child for HIV/AIDS became black people in America. Crazy work how that happened. How his population that was getting jacked during that time in the 80s was white Americans. But somehow, some way, black people became the poster child. How? Doesn't make any sense. If you want to fix the problem, then fix the problem by staying fixated on the group of people that primarily, the greater majority of which have it. But y'all ain't want to do that. Right? But then that comes into the exact same thing that happened with the pandemic, right? Primarily, it was Europeans, quote unquote, white Americans, that were suffering and going through this issue dealing with the pandemic. But somehow, some way, from the start of the year, as soon as March hit, oh, guess what? Oh, this is now a black thing. The pandemic is all black people. Black people are the most ones. They're the most contagious. They're the main ones passing it. They don't want to go to the doctors. They don't want to. I'm like, how did that even happen? Because how the pandemic got here had nothing to do with black Americans. You had somebody that went to China. You had other people that transferring to and from New York, Washington, D.C., California, I think Idaho. That had nothing to do with black people. But yet we became the face. And then people were heavily trying to push that directly in the black community. But I'm like, everybody else is the main ones that's suffering and that's killing over. But how do black Americans become the face of this thing? Like I said, messaging. Crazy work out here. Crazy work. But like I said before, what was that dude named? Reba Fluff? Yeah. I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. Like I said, I can even point this to white kids in the white communities and how these messages are affecting them dealing with drugs and alcohol. But never mind. You got it. God, man, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Anyways, let's keep going.
All 10 of my lug nuts on my front wheels were loosened completely. And one of my wheels almost flew off going 70 miles per hour on the interstate. And of course, I had my car in the shop to get the wheel bearings replaced.
Okay, thank you.
So the first thing I did was call the mechanic, of course, and be like, what is this? Why are my lug nuts not tightened? And, on the phone, he sounded really, really like distressed. He was like, it sounded almost like somebody was like holding a gun to his head the way he sounded on the phone. Like he sounded scared and like he wanted to get off the phone with me as soon as possible. And he told me on the phone, he was like, well, your bushings on your car are bad and the vibrations from the bushings cause the lug nuts to loosen. I tightened them. And you don't even have to work on cars to know that that's absolute BS, right? The bushings, if your lug nuts are, you know, tightened completely, that's not going to affect that at all, the bushings, because my control arms and sway bars and stuff do need to be replaced, but that had nothing to do with the lug nuts coming off. So I don't know, still to this day, don't know if it was him or somebody else, but what I do know is my lug nuts were loosened and I was one lug nut away. By the time I pulled over, all but one lug nut was on, and most mechanics, they might miss one, might miss two, but nobody misses all five by accident. So I don't know what the heck is going on, but you know, there's certain precautions I'll take from now on when I'm driving, checking my car and stuff, because that was just too close, way too close. And then the other side was about to come off anytime too. So I thank God, I thank everybody for your support, and I'm just gonna move more cautiously, because that's crazy. And you know, that story of some bushing stuff is crazy too.
So to Tim, you said the email, that's SEIJIHITO@gmail.com. SEIJIHITO@gmail.com. I'm sorry. I said .com. SEIJIHITO. Yeah, SEIJIHITO@gmail.com. Okay, I had it right. Yeah. SEIJIHITO@gmail.com. But so if you don't know who Natural Jab is, this is a young black man here who decided, with the ingenuity and the genius that he has, to come up with a machine that will reprocess a lot of the plastics that we have and turn it into usable oil. So it could be gasoline, it could be oils or different things, like things that you can pretty much use in jets, cars, and all of this, right? He has a whole YouTube, he has a TikTok, IG, all of these things, right? And what has taken place that he's talking about is the fact that he went to get his car serviced. He thought everything was fine and dandy, but for whatever reason, when he was driving on the road after that service, he almost ended up in a severe car accident because the bolts were coming off of the tires, right? Anybody owns a car, you normally see, you know, the bolts directly on there. That will hold the tire, you know, directly to the rest of the car. And you know that if those are unloosened, then guess what? Your tire is going to be flying out at 75 miles per hour. And then your car is just going to be, you know, all over the place, right? And that's what he's pretty much talking about. And that's why he's also stating that he has to move differently. The main thing that I've talked about before is that whenever we have black inventors or creators directly out here, that could fundamentally change the landscape of the way that we think about energy, technology, and so on and so on. They are the main targets. If the government just so happened to not be able to buy them out and just like silence them by money, they will do it by other means. So more than likely, I'm not sure what car place that he went to. They were more than likely paid to set him up. They were paid to have him silent. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. 100% crazy work. 100% crazy work. But let's go to the next video. So for about 12 seconds, it's going to be a little bit silent. And you're seeing this young black man. He's at a random car. He doesn't know anybody's in there. He's just fixing his hair.
If you don't know we're in the car, he's fixing his hair. He look like a what? A robber.
Now I want y'all to pay attention to that, because it's going. I'm going to bring this up a little bit later. So let me just redo this again for some people to understand. This young black man, probably a college student and whatnot, whatever. He wanted to, you know, just put his hair up in a ponytail because he has locks, right? He doesn't know anybody's in the car because obviously the tint is actually that good. All he sees is the reflection, right? So he was like, all right, let me just take this time real quick because I'm out, and let me just, you know, fix my hair real quick and just check, right? So you have a black woman in the car and you have her little black daughter. The black daughter is looking scared in the car because she said that black man looks like a robber. And the mom asked her basically to repeat it. He looks like a what? He looks like a robber. And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. So I'm like, you're a black woman, and then this is your black daughter. And I'm like, you're having her repeat this, and then you're going to also record it and put it on social media. But I'm like, are you going to correct her? Are you going to try to educate her? Like, what is the means to the end, right? But let's continue.
You look like you're going to steal a car. He not. I got your back, okay? You good now? You happy now? No. You was scared of the man in the window? Yeah. What you thought? I thought him with the robber. He take our car away. No. Mommy got your back always, okay? Okay. Okay. You was scared? Yeah. No, Mommy got your back. Okay? Ow. Ow. I always got your back. Okay? Okay. Bye.
So I want people to understand that this is how fear is taught. Automatically, instead of that black mother correcting her daughter about a black man, she was like, yeah, it was just a guy, in the window. No, it wasn't that was a black man with locks directly in the window fixing his hair because he noticed the reflection because of the tint that was directly on the car. And instead of correcting, she said it, she allowed her daughter to call that black man a robber all over social media for probably 100,000 or millions of people to sit up and see. I'm not sure how many views that this video got. But that black woman allowed her daughter to sit up there and call that black man a robber, a criminal, a villain, and did not correct her once. This is how fear is taught. This is how ignorance is taught. So automatically you allowed the install of fear to this young girl of whenever she happens to see a black man that looks like him or that's reflective, has locks, whatnot, or whatever, to be automatically scared and fearful that he is a robber, he is a thief, he is a criminal. So if that black woman is online allowing her daughter to believe that and teaching that, what do you then think that other races of people are going to sit up there and assume from this as well? They'll be like, well, if black women are scared, if young black girls are scared of black men, then everybody should be scared. That's some crazy work, man. That is some crazy work. Like I said, I would expect that from people of other races. 100%. I would expect that from people of other races. But to be able to go online and run across a video like this, that's like I said, I don't got no words. Like that is hugely. I done seen a lot of videos with black women raising kids. I've seen a lot of irresponsible videos directly out here. This is a part of those videos as well too. This is going to have far-reaching consequences of which I don't even think that she can even foresee. But like I said, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. This is the world that we live in, right? This is the world that we live in. So now we're going to go to the next video.
Today, I'm living in my car. My little S10. This is me. Stay home for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I don't know what to do. And I don't really have anyone. I toured 2 apartments yesterday. I won't qualify for them because you have to make 2.5 times the over $1,200 rent a month. And I don't even make the rent a month. I've never been homeless before. But you know what? This is a really good story. Like, I can only go, I could go down, but like, I'm gonna go up from here. Cause then, like, I'm broke and homeless at 21. But like, that makes for such a good story. When I'm like, super successful and rich. And like, doing so well. And have so many people. I'm gonna have such a bomb starter story. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, I was broke and homeless at 21. And look where I am now. Boom. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like, wow. Go you. I just gotta make it through this part. But this part like builds resilience, character, all that shit. I'm gonna be so funny after this. I'm gonna gonna have such a good personality. I'm gonna be equipped with so many skills. I'm gonna be so smart, crafty, nifty, and cool, and funny. And it's gonna be so good. I just gotta make it through this part. Just checking in, I guess. I mean, I hope they, I don't.
So I'm okay. So number one, I just want to say, white people, get your daughters. Like, I don't understand what's going on out here. To literally be able to see videos of white people being homeless is crazy to me, especially in America. That's a little bit crazy. Anybody else of any other color, all right, I understand that, cool, right? Because that's how America basically is. They don't care. But somebody white, in a sense, being homeless, that's a little bit crazy. I'm just gonna be real. That the system is basically built for and by your own people. But then that would also mean that even your own people don't care about you. Sounds crazy. Sounds fictitious. Sounds like it's it's not even possible. But here we are. The other thing I have a unique problem with as well too is seeing a woman like her that is directly quote unquote homeless. It's a little bit weird. So I'm like, you don't have any female friends? You don't have any female family or anything directly out there, even in female coworkers where you can decide to just like surf directly on the couch? I understand if a guy is like homeless, because it's like, all right, people will just not care. It's like, whatever, you're a guy, figure it out, pick yourself up off the streets, da da da. Nobody's really going to, in a sense, help out guys like that. But when it deals with women, it's a little bit different. And it's a little bit odd to see this. Right. And then also given the fact that a woman like her, she can easily make money a multitude of ways on social media. I'm pretty sure she has a TikTok. I'm not, sure, but I'm pretty sure she has a social media presence somewhere. And usually in instances like this, when it deals with videos like this, and she happens to put out videos like this, guess what? There's usually a GoFundMe or something involved, like a Cashapp, and you will have fields of white people from all across America that will donate money, 10 grand, 15, 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever grand, to help get this person directly off of the street. Again, going back to the whole fact of that, if you are white, 21 and free, it's easy, right? And anything is highly possible. You can go directly to, social media and make it. If I decided to get on social media and do this, people gonna be like, yo, what's your problem? Like, how are you this? How are you that? How are you living on the streets? Shouldn't you be, getting a job? Shouldn't you be doing this? Shouldn't you be doing that? And, right? It'll be that whole thing. But again, complexion, right? Jackson said, mental note, don't believe anything that these woke weirdos and these woke weirdo ideologies tell me. The terminology woke is crazy. I need people to actually look up the definitions. Because woke is so overused that people don't even know what the definition for woke is. And the misuse is crazy. I'm just gonna put that directly out there. Crazy work. I love how the government has trained people to demonize a lot of words, just like conspiracy or conspiracy theorist. For the longest time, the government sat up there and got people mind warped into believing that this was just, wording for, all of these other type of people that's just crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. But then you find out in 2023, 24, 25 that a lot of people who are called quote unquote crazy conspiracy theorists, aliens and government, they were actually right. So now everybody's a conspiracy theorist. Crazy work. But, like I said before, government does a very great job at brainwashing people. What was that? Jackson said, I'm white and it's my people that are telling these impressionable young children these weird woke ideologies. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Be like that. Technically, I was a commercial dealing with MJ. I want to be like Mike. Anyways, let's go to the next video.
Alliance is what do you do? What are your goals?
The Haitian Bridge Alliance is a Black women-led organization that is really working in the intersection of human rights and migration, and we focus on people of African descent, understanding the multi-layered when it comes to immigration, when it comes to human rights and civil rights, and really really ensuring that people of African descent, me, myself, I'm Haitian American, and understanding how the history of the Haitian people and the history of our Black American who are not of immigrant descent is intertwined in really trying to find ways to bring our communities together, to bring our families together, while we continue to center the fact that Black immigrants have always been a part of Black America, from Shirley Chisholm to Malcolm X. Their immigration connection from their parents and themselves has always been a part of Black America.
Okay, well, since you started there, I guess I'll follow you there. It seems like there's more division now. There are some conservative African Americans and some that, could be considered full-on MAGA within the reparations movement and elsewhere, who have taken a very distinctly anti-immigrant stance, even when it comes to Black immigrants. Is that something that is impacting you? What do you say to those folks?
Absolutely, it's impacting us. And what I say to my siblings, you and I, my grandparents might be from Haiti and yours probably from North Carolina, doesn't mean we are no longer related. It simply means we have been divided, we have been disconnected, we have been taken away from each other. That doesn't mean we are no longer family or we are no longer siblings. So therefore, we cannot allow white supremacist ideologies to continue to infiltrate us as a family and continue to divide and conquer.
Right. So what you were able to hear was a Haitian individual that was trying to state that Black Americans and Haitians were intertwined. We got a lot of things and yada, 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 history and all this other type of stuff. And this has only been happening because of the delineation that has been taking place with Black Americans in between other groups of melanated folks. Because for the longest time possible, again, Black Americans have tried to be side by side, hand out an olive branch. We try to be directly with people. And a lot of people decided that, hey, what we want to specifically do is let you Black Americans know that you are not us, we are not you, right? So that dealt with the Caribbean, that dealt with those out there that are, melanated, such as the Africans and so on and so on and so on, right? But matter of fact, instead of me trying to, explain that point of view, I'm going to allow this African woman to explain that, right?
I'm not Black. Let me say that again. I am not Black, okay? Hear me out. Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as Black. She's like, you're not Black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is Black obviously comes from the slave era, but it also just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to try and curb racism in some way, people are going to be racist. Ignorance is ignorance. You can't. But just to curb racism in a small way, stop referring to yourself as Black. If you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say Black, it just sounds so harsh and like, this is Black. I'm brown. I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. Like, that's who I am. That's where I come from. So I understand when you say Black British or Black American, because you don't know where you're from. You're just a person of color in the city that you're in. Obviously, you still be treated the way you're treated, but just like, I feel like when I hear someone refer to me as Black, it just sounds so harsh, especially coming from a certain demographic. I think if you have the privilege of knowing where you're from, you shouldn't refer to yourself as a color, because it further, pushes the racism narrative and further.
Right. So we heard that, how she wanted to state that this is the African woman. She knows that she's African. She knows her history and everything like that. But she was like, I am not Black. Right. Or as some people who are Hispanic like to say, me no Black, me no Black. Right. That's what Black Americans tend to get. whenever it is that we want to try to see eye to eye, or we want to try to say that, hey, we actually come from here, or we have a lot of things in common, we have history, yada yada yada. This is what we've been getting for years and years and years, and all this other type of stuff. But mind you, in America, Black Americans have always tried to be open. We will welcome people directly in. A lot of these immigrants will just so happen to open up businesses. We will go directly to shop their businesses, support their businesses, food or whatever it is. We'll invite them directly to the cookout. They'll come directly to our music or concerts. We'll dress them how we normally dress, right? We'll teach them the lingo and all this other type of stuff. But mind you, they have their own prerogative, right? They have their own thing they're trying to do, which is masquerade in the United States, so that they can just be there long enough up until they get on their feet, and then they can shed all of that quote unquote Black American fatigue, right? That camouflage, and now they can just be Nigerian. Now they can be Kenyan or Jamaican or whatever it is, right? But before all of that, they were quote unquote down with Black Americans. They were with the lingo and the wordage and all of that stuff. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. So now when Black people are like, yo, we're fed up with this, we're not playing these games anymore, no problem. You are you and we are we, right? So Black Americans are Black Americans. We don't have no association with Africa and nobody else. And Africa is Africa, Jamaica is Jamaica, Bahamas, islands, South America. We don't care about none of y'all. We don't care what y'all over there doing. We're not trying to persuade or claim or anything like that. Y'all history is y'all history. Y'all know more than us about us, no problem. But again, you heard her as an African sit up there and say that, oh, Black Americans don't really know who they are. It's very interesting how everybody else can tell Black Americans that they know our history better than we do. And they've never really seen us, never even been around us, never really grew up around us, like historically speaking, right? Like some of us got grandparents that are in their 80s and so on and so on. But yet, do you think that any of these people had conversations with our grandparents? No, they didn't. They did not at all. Right? Matter of fact, let me see real quick. I should have a video in the background. Oh, it's not up there yet. I think I should have a video somewhere actually detailing this a little bit better for all intents and purposes. But before we get to that one, I'm going to highlight this video here.
You might have cracked the code with this one, bro. I always wonder, where are the Africans with the passed down stories about an ancestor that was taken away? Millions? And none of them have family stories looking for their ancestors in America? See, this the one right here, man. He might have cracked the code with this one. So everybody knows that we're not African. Everybody knows who we are. Africans know we're not Africans. Asians know we're not Africans. Everybody knows who we are. But here go the bigger question. Why are we that important that our identity has been hidden so far and so deep to the point where only this generation is really understanding what's going on? What makes us so important to hide our identity like that? Ask yourself that question.
That's a very good question. And that's a question that a lot of people seemingly don't want to answer or can't answer. Right? And to me, that's crazy. Matter of fact, I just found a video too. Let me get this real quick. Hold on, let me just get this really quick. Because like I said, it's seemingly everybody around the world knows who we are, right? Because the Africans will make sure to sit up and say, "Oh, yeah, Black people, you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're from, you don't know this, you don't know." I'm like, okay, so specifically tell us in details, right? Tell us specifically who we are, since you seem to actually know. What do you hear white people from America? You guys don't know who you are, you guys are just slaves and da 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 da. All this stuff. White people think they can sit up and tell Black people who they are. right? You got other people who are Mexican that are just as vocal and feel like they can tell black people specifically who it is that they are. I'm like, everybody around the world can seemingly be on the exact same page. I'm like, nobody finds that weird that everybody says the exact same thing. I'm like, there's a lie here. There's a lie here. And just like the one girl that I showcased to you guys before, where she was trying to state that there obviously must be some type of conspiracy. And to what end is that conspiracy? Well, the end is to make sure that the original people don't know who it is that they are. Because if they understand and know, then everything is going to get turned upside down, right? That's also going to have waves and effects when it deals with everybody else, because everybody else is now going to have to learn. Everybody else is going to have to straighten up. Everybody else is going to now have to talk differently. The respect meter is going to be swiftly shifting. Right. So instead of quote unquote, white people being at the top of the pyramid, guess what? It's going to go right to the black Americans, and to the end of why it is that people would want to hide certain types of information. Again, everything is tied up in land. Everything is tied up in property. Everything is tied up in ownership. Who are the main people that can lay claim and ties directly to the United States at this moment in time? It is white people, Europeans, pagans, Christians, those folks. Which is a little bit odd because, like I stated before, this is the warm planet, but, whatever. The same people who want to lay claim to the United States are the same people that had to be taught directly about the land, because they were inevitably going to die. They were actually going to go extinct because they didn't know nothing about nothing here. But have white people sit up there and try to tell the history, we already knew what it was. We're the ones that modernized America. We invented everything around the world, right? That's the idea that they want to spin and push towards everybody else, right? That they pretty much just invented everything. But what people don't realize is that Europeans, the white population, is a minority when it deals with the world. Minority. You can't tell white people in America that, because they're not even trying to hear it. They're like, no, it's a lot of Europeans, a lot of us whites directly all around the world. We're everywhere. No, you're not. Actually, you're not. You're not. You're not even close to 1 billion in population when it deals with the world. No, you're not even close. Everybody else that has melanin though is. But like I said, people don't listen. People don't want to, just happen to pay attention. But to further put it to the extent when it deals with the older folks directly out here, let's listen to what an elder had to state on the street. All right, let me pull this up for you guys right here.
So your tribe,
Cherokee.
Okay.
North Carolina.
Now, what you were saying about the African thing?
Okay. Now, just say when I was growing up in the South, North Carolina, I never heard anything about African and black. I always heard about Indian.
So when did African come to play?
Well, I'll say lately, not very,
60s,
very,
70s?
yeah, 60s,
What roots, around roots time?
Right.
So you think it was like a mind control thing that they put into us?
Yes.
Really?
That's what I believe, because I still don't believe.
How old are you, man?
80.
What's your name?
Marie.
Huh?
Marie.
Okay, my name is, I don't want to say my name on, but my name is Ahanu.
Mm-hmm.
Ahanu means friend to everyone in Algonquin.
Okay, now my mother, that's why I still say, I don't mind, I do say I'm black, but my mother was born in Louisiana. Now she was French and Indian.
Okay, yes. But the Indian side was black.
Black.
That's right.
My mother's black.
Wow.
French, and she wasn't French.
She was Indian. She was Indian.
That's Creole.
Nazi? You know, was Nazi Indian or just what tribe do you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Thank you very
much. Right. So as she stated, back some decades ago, it was no talk about, like Africa this, Africa that, all this. You heard Native American. That's somebody from down south. So the Africans would have to sit up there and explain that. Right. And as which was stated, it was like a lot of people didn't, really start hearing some stuff, really in an outwardly larger platform up until Roots. Right. Roots is a cultural movie directly in the black community, deals with the slave trade and all this other type of stuff. Your name is Toby, you know, all that good stuff, right? And I'm like, it seems a little bit interesting. Seems like some psychological warfare, you know, took place. And it was, you know, in a sense, a larger platform that was able to pass the information along. And it did such a great job that it took hold. And this was the main thing that people wanted to stick directly to. Because the funniest thing is, even when I think back to pictures dealing with my family, I remember very, very young. It should have been my aunt. I want to say it should have been my aunt, because usually the women in the family have a lot of, or all of, the pictures dealing with, you know, multitudes of families. And I specifically remember looking at a black and white photo of a black woman in my family in what would be considered Native American wear. I'm talking about the whole headdress and everything. I'm like, what was this? I'm like, this is real. I'm like, and again, this is I'm talking about it. We're not dealing with the time frame of, oh, this is a Photoshop, this is a Chat GP, this is no. We're talking about stuff that was back in like the 90s. So we didn't have none of that. We weren't in the tech age that we are in at this moment. So it was not that. These were actual photos, actual pictures. And if you talk to a lot of black people, especially from down south, they can tell you a lot of stuff about their history, about their heritage, about their people, how it is that they grew up, their traditions specifically there. They can tell you about their lineage. They can tell you about their claim to the land, or how long their people have been there. They can go back generations. And going back to what the young brother said, how we're anytime we have a cookout, right? We're dealing with black people, right? Black Americans. Anytime we have a cookout, where are all of these quote unquote Africans and many other people to specifically have all of these 100-year stories telling about our ancestry, telling us our stories? I ain't never seen it. I done been to plenty of cookouts. I ain't never seen no Africans there just hosting sessions talking about like, yo, brother Seji, let me tell you where it is that you're from. Let me pinpoint accurately tell you your people, and you can go back there right now and see your family. I ain't never seen that in my life. But yet all of these Africans can sit up there and tell us where it is that black Americans come from, because we just don't know. We just don't understand. We don't have the history. We don't have the knowledge. But they do. Crazy work. It is crazy, diabolical work. Let me tell you. That is something. Tim said check email. I'm checking the email at the moment. I don't see any emails that I may have, maybe from like the 13th at this moment. So I don't see anything at the moment. It may take, I guess, like a minute to get there, because I'm actually looking at it on my phone at the moment. Looking through the different boxes real quick. Yeah, even check the spam. I'm not seeing nothing at all. So yeah, it might, take a minute to get there. Yo, what is up, New Era? What is up? What we got? We got Mo directly in the building. She said the young black girl looks Nigerian. Right. Looks like she's from Atlanta, possibly so. Like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised. Rabbit said, what is up? Said, yeah, white people call themselves white without an issue. She sounds like her mom has pink metal tubes, bleach cream in her house. Yeah, true. Norwood, what is up? See, they think we're immigrants too. Yeah. Stokes said, that's black. I'm just saying. Stokes said, I don't know, man. I feel like it's pretty generic, the whole race war thing. What race war are you talking about? Because I'm a little bit confused, because the only people that actually talked about a race war were the Caucasians. Black people ain't never talked about no race war. This is delineation. It's a complete different thing, right? We're allowing everybody to be themselves while we are ourselves, claiming our culture, our heritage, and everything that we know historically about Black Americans. That's it. There's no culture war. The only people that want a culture war or a war like that are white folks, not Black Americans. We pretty much mind our own business. We got Lala in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? You said, right, all I've heard within my family is the Indian people in my family. I bet every Black person can tell what kind of Indian is in their family. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Bars. Straight bars. Maya says she looks like a straight bop. We know where she's from. Y'all talking about let me where's the image? Where that girl at? I had her you talking about this one, right?
I'm not Black.
That's the one from the UK. No, wig is crooked and everything, which is crazy. That's diabolical work. But it is what it is, you know. Rabbit said I hate that dumb forced pearly wise smile that these self hating Africans have, right? Most said the answer is on the map of Negro Land, Turtle Island. D Money said that's less than 8% of the global population. Yep. Tim said don't forget to check your email. Gotcha. Maya said, well, if only 8% of the slave ships come to the United States, then that would explain the large percentage of Black people's ancestry are indigenous to the United States. Yeah. And he said that's what they're trying to hide. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the whole world is completely fine with the Chinese being from China, Jamaicans being from Jamaican, Bahamas, Bahamian people being from Bahamas, right? People from South America being from South America, people from being from Canada being from Canada. White people can be both from Europe, Scandinavia, America, Australia, whatever, right? And Africans are from Africa, right? They're fine with everybody else being from where it is that they state that they are from. Black Americans are the only group of people where the whole world is like, no, you're not from America. What? How do we get here? And that's why I sat up there and said, like, this, somebody, I can't be crazy. Like, people have to pay attention. How is it that the whole world can stop and stare at Black Americans and try to tell them that, no, you're not American. You don't come from America. Like, everybody knows where it is that we're from. Everybody's on the same page. How? When did that start happening? This is not the Antarctic Treaty. This is not what we're dealing with the moment in time. But it seems like there's another treaty that took place that is unbeknownst to us when it deals with Black Americans. So just like if people don't know, the Antarctic Treaty is basically stating that every single country or whatnot around the world, every nation, whatever, had come to an agreement that, hey, we're not going to do any war here. This is going to be strictly peaceful, no matter what's going on, in the world. This landmass right here is peace. We don't care what's happening. It could be Ukrainians there and Russians there. Guess what? They're not going to war there. They're not going to be doing any type of madness, no type of nonsense. It is strictly scientific work, and that's it. So with that treaty, it seems like the whole world has the exact same treaty when it deals with Black Americans. It's like, hey, we're all on the same accord that, everybody comes from wherever it is that we say. Russians are Russians, the Africans are Africans. White people can come from anywhere. Anybody from South, America is from South America. Canadians are Canadians, Australians are Australians. Right? We all agree. But when it deals with Black Americans, we cannot say at all that they come from America. We cannot do that. And I can't be crazy. I cannot be crazy to basically see this in real time, because that's what I see all the time when I go on social media. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. Everybody, no matter what disagreement, no matter what religion people are, people can commonly agree and sit up there on social media and be like, you Blacks here in America are not American. You didn't originate or come from here. What? Huh? What are we doing? How y'all get that? Where y'all get that notion from? Where y'all get the information from? And then the craziest part is when you ask people specifically for the information, they can't sit up there and tell you. They'll just sit up and you guys came from slaves. And then when it is that we're like, okay, we agree, we come from Africa, and then we're like, okay, we were the the kings and the queens and all this other type of stuff. They're like, no, y'all weren't kings and queens. I'm like, hold on, so what? I'm like, so how is this even working? You can't even show us as actual citizens, right? But then when we want to quote unquote play around and accept that, all right, we came from Africa, and we were like, yeah, we were more than likely, we were the kings and queens, we were the guys, all this other type of stuff. You were like, no, you guys were never gods. You guys were never kings, never queens. You guys didn't have ownership over anything. Matter of fact, even if you are African, the stuff that was built there, it wasn't even built by you. It was built by other people that don't even look like you. What? Huh? Like I said, there's a game being played here, and everybody is directly in on it. Everybody is in on it. Crazy work. D Money said it must be a universal black code we don't know about. Yeah, because it's crazy. It is crazy how this works out. Crazy how this works out. But I do want to showcase this older elder right here and what it is that he is doing.
We're gonna be down here at the farm cutting some collard greens this morning. So if anybody interested in it, and give me a call. I'll be down here for probably another hour or so. But if you need some greens this morning, just give me a call.
Right, this is a brother. More than likely, he's down south. He got his collard greens down there. This is what some land ownership looks like. Right, this is what some acres in a sense looks like. And it's a long way from that to that front door. Right, and that man got rows of collard greens directly up there. That dude, he can make depending on, I'm not sure how much he would even sell those for. He can make a nice hefty sum directly up there. Let me see what the rows looking like right there. Let me see. Let me try to get this close up. And the funny thing is, I would love to actually do something like this. Just to, have a yard and grow something real simple. And to just be able to sell it from land directly to store. Like, for me, that's a simple life. I would love to do something like that. I feel like it's a very, therapeutic thing. And then especially when you can actually see, your work directly in front of you. That's a beautiful thing to be able to see that. Like I said, that's some awesome work there.
You ain't gonna get no fresher than this, I can tell you that. So if you need any fresh greens this morning, hit me up.
Matter of fact, my apologies. That might not even have been an elder. My apologies. That might have just been like an older black man. I'm sorry. My apologies. Because I had to look at his face real quick. I'm like, oh, that man might be in his 40s. Hey, no, that's a young man right there. Right, like I said before, this is, let me just replay this, right? Because for me, I think things like this are very beautiful. And also, if anybody wants to find him, his name is right there, Mr. Chris Moore. You can find him more than likely on social media if you type it in. I guess like maybe TikTok, YouTube, or whatever. Like I said, this is a beautiful thing, and also showcase the fact, another view of black men of which is not shown directly on social media, because primarily they always want to show black men in a negative light. They want to show them, holding guns, selling drugs, like all of these shows. What is it like? You got Snowfall, Power, all of these other shows, right? Whatever black shows are out there, 9 times out of 10, the black dude is doing something negative, right? They got him cheating, they got him stealing, they got him doing anything criminal. You'll never really catch black films out here depicting a black man doing something like this. Just to be real. Like the last time, I think, what was the movie that Denzel was in, The Preacher's Wife or something like that? That was a positive film. Wasn't it The Preacher's Wife? I think let me type that in real quick. I got to type that in now. Yeah, The Preacher's Wife. That's a beautiful looking film right there. Right? Beautiful looking film. Well, let's just look at what they said, right? They said the theme of the movie was faith and renewal, centered around the church. The preacher's wife sits as the intersection of faith, doubt, and struggle people often encounter when trying to remain optimistic while facing adversity. Right? So again, positive film, black men in the film, from what I can recollect, positive as well. But we don't have movies like that anymore. You know who they normally will show you doing stuff like this, everybody that's non-black. That's what they would do. They will showcase every other man on this planet as doing stuff like this, but they'll always make sure to show you black men doing quote unquote criminal minded things. Number two, to brainwash people, and number one, to mainly put the message into young black boys and young black men's head that, hey, if you want to get quick money, if you want to be the man, if you want the celebrity, if you want the fame, if you want the wealth, you have to do these things. You have to go down this road versus trying to do this and live a simple life. Nah, you ain't gonna get that. Yeah, that gold chain that you want, you ain't getting that. The grills that you want, you ain't about to sit up there and get that. That fast car that you want, you ain't getting that. The woman that you want, you ain't about to sit up there and get that. Right? So again, you're dealing with psychological warfare that takes place, and that happens on social media by way of the people that are directly in control. It's crazy. It's crazy work. D Money said, if only he was in Louisiana. Like, yo, realistically, the amount of land that this brother got, he could actually get together I'm not sure how, it's probably a way that he can do it, but he could box these things. I'm not, maybe he might need a supplier that, can refrigerate it, but he can ship these things out. He could really ship these things out. I would say what he would probably have to do is he might have to get something with some boxes with some walls of like dry ice directly in there to be able to like ship these things like to and from. You might need a small little, facility or something to basically, do a little, pre-wash and dip it in some water real quick and, wring it out or something like that, and then put it directly in a box and, have it, shipped off or whatnot. I mean, he could do it locally. He's in Tifton, Georgia. So, he could actually, sit up there and do it. But I would say it would have to be more so a community effort to, help him get started with that, because that's what I would want to happen. I would want the actual community to donate and to put money forth in order to get him, the type of business that he needs. Like I said, this is a beautiful thing. 100%. This is a beautiful thing, to see. Beautiful thing. Jug, what is up? You said B1 don't have a distinct representation like other countries that generated a treaty to protect their constituents. In other countries, we have no treaties. That's why they front on reparations for us. I mean, that's true. Bushido, what is up? What is up? You said let certain people tell it. Black farmers don't exist. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. A lot of people like to, try to state that, black farmers, don't exist, and all these other stuff. And then I want to give a shout out to, Willie D and the platform, that he has. There was a conversation. Let me see if I can actually get a picture so I can at least put that up there so people won't be too lost if they see me talking about this topic. Let me go to my bookmarks real quick. I need to see real quick. Okay, so let me just get that real quick. Let me save the image. And let me wait. Let me see if I can upload it. Yeah, okay, I can put image file directly up there. Great. Right. So there was Willie D has a podcast, right? If you don't know who Willie D is, check him out on YouTube, TikTok, IG, all of those places where videos are posted, right? You had a podcast up there where Slim Thug was there, right? And Slim Thug went on this whole thing like some other people out there that wanted to say that black people don't need reparations and yada yada yada, all this other type of stuff. The main thing I like to state is that from both sides, I can see an understanding. Removing emotions directly out of it, I can see where people are having points. Slim Thug point was that, oh, why would you wait for your enemy to give you anything that is owed to you? I mean, that is in a sense, for all intents and purposes, true, right? If you got somebody that know that they stole money from you, would you idly sit by in your home, wait all of your life for that enemy to come back through who robbed you to basically return what it is that he robbed? I see that point. I understand it. It doesn't, in a sense, make sense. But that's looking in a sense at a surface level and not focusing on the history of what was and also what is and what is going to be in the future. Right? So there's three different areas of history that need to be also added into the equation to get a full rounded answer directly to that. When you just focus and look at it on a surface level, it's like, oh, well, these people did this to you. Why would you want them to? Again, that's surface level type of thing. We got to deal with history, right? Because when you look at the Jewish community, nobody's saying it about the Jewish community, correct? And matter of fact, let me just go to something real quick, right? So when it deals with, let's see, the Japanese, right? In the United States, there have been a few instances where specific groups have received reparations or financial compensation for historical injustice. Here are a few, right? Number one, you got the Japanese Americans, the Civil Liberties Act of 1988. Reason, compensation for the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. Number two, reparations. The United States government issued a formal apology and provided $20,000 in compensation for each surviving individual who had been interned. Number three, total amount approximately 1.6 billion was distributed to about 82,000 people, right? So 82,000 Japanese Americans were able to get a part of that 1.6 billion that was distributed by the United States and also a formal apology. Oh, crazy how that works. And you also wonder how it is that the Japanese Americans, Japanese Americans are doing so well here, or the Asian Americans are doing so well, because it wasn't just the Japanese Americans that were put in internment camps. You also had the Chinese that were put into internment camps as well, too. Right. So next we got the Native American tribes, right? Reason, compensation for broken treaties, land seizures, and other injustices. Reparations. Various forms of compensations include land settlement, financial compensation, and programs supporting tribal communities. Notable cases include the Indian Claims Commission 1946 through 1978 awarded over 1.3 billion in settlements. The Cobell Settlement 2010, 3.4 billion of mismanagement of Native American trust funds. Number three, Alaskan Native or the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act of 1971. Number one, reason, compensation for land taken during the settlement of Alaska. Number two, reparations, 962.5 million and 44 million acres of land to the Alaska Native corporations, right? Next one, we got Holocaust survivors. Reason, compensation for survivors of the Holocaust who settled in the United States. Reparations, special restitution programs supported by international agreements, including United States government support for survivors through the German Foundation, right? Remembrance, responsibility, and future, and other funds. So even there, as stated, that the United States is also supporting and giving money directly to Holocaust survivors. But last time I checked, the United States didn't have anything to do with that, correct? But the other funny thing about that is they don't give you a finite number of how much money they've gotten so far over time. They were able to give you that when it dealt with the Indians and the Native Americans. They weren't able to give you a finite number. Seems a little bit suspicious, but like I said, it is what it is. So you got three different groups there that were able to get something by way of the United States in a form of reparations, restitution, land, or what have you, even a formal apology. But for whatever reason, all groups, again, going back to what I said before, where it seems like there's this unknown hidden treaty when it deals with Black Americans and how it is that people are made to say that Black Americans are not American, we're from elsewhere. It's the exact same thing when it happens with reparations, because you would never catch Slim Thug sitting up there stating that the United States should not be paying reparations to those main three groups that I told you about. You would never catch him saying that. He wanted to say that, oh, he's not owned by nobody Jewish, he's not owned by nobody white, all this other type of stuff. It's black this, black that, yada, yada. That's great. That's cool. That's great. That's cool. But that does not mean that the people in your family are not owed money because of what it is that your historically your families had to face and gone through. Like I said, unbeknownst to him, I'm not sure if he did the research or not, but he may have had family somewhere, down the road previously that had land. But guess what? That land was taken. It was burned down. They were pushed off of that land, railroaded, however it is that you want to sit up there and put it. But going by what it is that he is stating, he don't want that land. He don't care about that. He don't need that form of reparations. He don't need the United States to give his family back that land or the home or whatever it is that they basically had. Right? Because that's a handout, like a lot of people like to sit up there and say. Even though it's something that is owed to you because it was stolen, it was taken. It wasn't legally given away by way of the Black American citizens. But like I said, this is how crazy this is. Everybody else, hey, we got Brandon V World in the chat. What is up? What is up, brother? What is going on? What is going on? But we got everybody else out here trying to tell Black Americans that you don't need reparations. You are not owed this and yada, yada, yada. Right? Now, I will give you what it is that I've stated. Right? I've stated that, yes, Black Americans deserve reparations, but I've also said to the other extent that instead of waiting, we could come together, band together, and we could put money directly to the side to formulate our own, in a sense, source of reparations. Because looking at all the videos that I've done and all of the monies that Black people in the community spend on a daily basis, if everybody were to, I'm just talking about the Black Americans, if we were to literally start putting away, hundreds of dollars during the months, like there's 12 years. I'm sorry, I said 12 years. There are 12 months in a year, right? And if you were to have Black American communities all around to start to put $100, away, like per month, like let's say maybe even per week, like $50 or $100 per week or per month. And you basically add that up along with the given population that we basically have, even say if it's like 40 million Black Americans, add up 40 million Black Americans times $50. 40 million Black Americans times $50. And then you would, multiply that. And you can come through with a very large number of which that we can pretty much start our own bank here in the United States and basically pull from that and not have to pull from any other banks directly out here. We could literally do this. But like I said before, Black people are so distrusting because of, the psychological warfare that is taking place directly out here, that Black people are like, I don't really, get down like that. I'm not gonna really trust nobody else with our money and all this other type of stuff. But I'm like, you're gonna trust, Bank of America and all these other types of people directly out there with your money. So you rather trust everybody else that don't look like you with your money, but somebody that looks like you. That's crazy work. And that's how a lot of these other corporations and people get over on Black people, because they're like, oh, well, you don't trust your people. No problem. Bring it to me. They'll give you like the smile, the pearly white smile, the nice face and all that other type of stuff. And you're going to trust them because they don't look like you. But they're the main ones that's going to swindle you out of everything, including your life. Like I said, look at the record companies and look at all of these Black artists, including some Thug. Who do you think has insurance on Slim Thug? Just saying. Even if it is Black owned, who do you still think has the insurance on Slim Thug? Do you just saying? There's always somebody bigger that is taking a larger piece of the pie, and they're waiting for artists like this to not be in existing so they can cash out on that deposit. But like I said, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? It's crazy work. Let me see. Pink said that is about a good $2 billion. That's a very grand start. That is a very grand start. Let me see if I can actually go back, because I got some stuff that I had did before. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it, because it was so long ago that I did the video talking about Black women in hair and everything like that. It's been a long time, because I had numbers and everything detailing with this as well too. So I'm trying to You cannot generalize a group. It's that one, the model minority. That was the terminal. That was the name I was like. Matter of fact, I just remember I actually got a video up here where Slim Thug was telling black people to stop blaming white people, and it's 2025. So that also goes into the whole effect of him talking about the no need for reparations and all this other type of stuff. But Willie D, he was letting know, he was like, yo, let me tell you my disagreement directly with this. And he was specifically went in why those things are specifically owed and should be given to black people. And like I said, shout out to Willie D for trying to give that talk some common sense directly into that guy, trying to educate him on some stuff, because you got a lot of people out here that just feel that black people are trying to look for some type of hand. The main thing that white people like to sit up and say is like, oh, reparations are handouts and handouts. I didn't have handouts and da 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 da. And I sat up there and made it right. They want to go off of that whole thing. But I'm like, if white people in America were able to get monies for the internment, right? Not slavery, internment, indentured servitude of the Irish and the Scottish directly out here, all of those white people would be holding their hands out. I kid you not. They would not be out here sitting up here talking about like, oh, these are hands out. I don't want this. I'm able to, work for myself and do no. They're taking that money. And they'll sit up there and tell people it was rightfully owed. My people, went through a lot of things and built this in America and had to go through this. And they would be going the whole nine. They will become victims, as they like to call black people, overnight if it dealt with that. But like I said, because it's not them in this specific area and or arena, because they can't lay claim directly to it, they got a problem. Man, I'm really trying to find because it was like a whole art. It was a lot of stuff that I had directly up there too. Because there was like even dealing with that's dealing with black men. That's the stats. I'm talking about trying to look for the whole thing dealing with hair. Because I did like a whole live stream or a video directly on it, and the amount of money coming out of the black community going just into hair care by itself, the amount of billions, I'm talking about even to the extent of like hundreds of billions that go directly there, is insane. And one of the main things that I was trying to state to a lot of black women out there, I'm like, hey, if y'all haven't put that money to the side per month, and I think I even did the numbers directly up there, I'm like, yo, black women could literally have their own bank that they can pull from, and they can get their loans, stuff directly for housing or, whatever it is that they need. They wouldn't have to, go to the government or whatnot or whatever for that money. But again, that would go into the whole fact of if black people really want to trust other black people with said money, because once money starts looking real good and real nice, you'll start having greed take place. You'll start having people come directly out of the blue and trying to sabotage and mess up a lot of things. What was that? The numbers that black people don't talk about. Which one is this? What is this? Okay, that had to do with black men and women being married to one another. I just messed up. Oh, is that it? There we go. I just found. Okay. So the main things that I had, matter of fact, let me just, am I able to, let me see, save image as. Yeah, there we go. I just found it. Like I said, a little bit of digging, you'll find what it is that you're looking for. This was from about like a year or so ago. It did not actually post. What is going on here? Hold on, I gotta actually screen cap it because it's acting a little bit weird. My apologies there. Like I said, shout out to doing live streams because anything can happen. Let me tell you. Can't believe that actually showed up as, I guess, like transparent, which is weird. So this is, just dealing with one instance of the monies and where it just so happened to go. Because again, people don't happen to pay attention to look at the numbers, right? So I gotta, make this a little bit larger. For me, it says in 2018, Black consumers spent about 473 million on hair products, which is 11.3% of sales for the 4.2 billion hair care industry. Black consumers in the United States spend disproportionately on styling products. Styling products are only about 16% of the total hair care market, but Black people spend 35% of their hair care budget on styling products. 51% of Black consumers use hair styling products, while only 34% of non-Black consumers use styling products. And Black styling products spending surpasses 1.4 billion in 2020. Experts project that styling product spending among Black consumers will decline from 2021 to 2025. I would actually have to re-up and look up now what it is. During the pandemic, Black consumers were 2.4 times more likely than the average consumer to purchase hair treatment. Black women spend 1.1 billion annually on wigs, weaves, and extensions. From 2016 to 2018, Black spending on shampoo and conditioner grew 12.2% and 7.3% respectively. Shampoo and conditioner sales have continued to grow among Black consumers in 2019 and 2020. In 2021, hair color sales grew amongst Black consumers' consumer base. Studies showed that among Black customers, financial status makes no difference in hair care product purchases. Low-income households make up 43.3% of the total of the market for Black hair and beauty products. Low-income Black consumers also make up 39.1% of hair and beauty spending, which is higher than middle and higher income spending in this category. Last but not least, 41% of Black American women say that the pandemic has forced them to change their hair care routines, leading to an increase in new product category spending. Right? So back to what I was setting up to saying about those billions that get spent, directly on hair. There's the information. And that was from a previous video that I was doing when it dealt with the Black spending in the hair care industry. And I think I might have listed, some other things dealing with that as well. I had another one directly up there. It was what Black-owned hair products are only about. Now, pay attention to this, right? Out of the billions that I told you about that are spent on the hair care industry, right? From the I think what was it like the 3 or the 400 million to the 1.1 billion by way of Black women annually, right? So listen to this. Black-owned hair products are only 3% of the ethnic hair. I'm sorry, of the ethnic hair and beauty market. And the majority of Black hair care retailers are not Black owned. So out of 100% of the hair care that's out here, 3% are Black owned products. 3%, right? So then next we got 20% of Black consumers state that they have a hard time purchasing a variety of products because they aren't enough to suit their needs. 19% of Black customers state that they have trouble finding hair products that can suit their needs and styling desires. The global Black hair market is worth an estimated $2.5 billion in 2020. So yeah. So, when I happen to say, it's billions directly out there that are being spent by way of the Black community when it deals with hair, it's billions in the ceiling, right? We even got more because I'm going back through all the old information I have. They said that it is a well-known fact that Black consumers punch well above their weight class when it comes to personal care spending. In the United States, Black consumers are 14% of the population, but make up a disproportionate percentage of spending on hair and beauty products. Black dollars make up 85.7% of the ethnic hair and beauty market. Black consumers spend 54.4 million on ethnic hair and beauty products out of the 63.5 million in total spending in that category. It's crazy work. Right? Next one they got, each year, Black women spend billions of dollars on beauty and personal care products. Black women spend 9 times more on ethnic hair products than non-Black consumers of both genders. Next, we have, in the United States, Black people spend 18% of their annual income on hair care and beauty products. 81% of Black people say that hair and beauty products advertised through Black media channels are more relevant to their needs. 43% of Black spending power can be attributed to women. Crazy. It's crazy, crazy. But like I said before, there's a lot of different things within the Black community that could be fixed. And, this is why I try to, point these things directly to Black women, because Black women have some of the most freed up money. They have some of the most money to go out there and directly spend. And a lot of advertisers, a lot of businesses know this. So they will do advertising and business to cater specifically to Black women. And a lot of them don't care, if any of them at all. A lot of them don't care. They just want Black women to spend their money there because they know that Black women, are burning a hole directly in their wallets or their pockets with the money that they got. And they're like, hey, why not just sit up there and give us that money, right? It's a little bit too high for your handle. No problem. We'll just, divvy out some products to make it seem like we care. We'll put together some commercials and have a Black voice behind it. But really, it's all white owned, so that they can just so happen to get your money, your dollars, and then, do whatever it is that they want to do, at the end of the day. But, this is why I said before in a previous live streaming video that very easily, with the amount of money that Black women just on, I'm not even talking about fashion or anything else, shoes or whatever, very easily, if Black women were to change their spending habits and they were to save money just as a group, good Lord, the shakeup that they would just cause by themselves in the United States, money-wise, would be insane. It'd be something that nobody has ever seen on the face of this planet. But it's very difficult to, get things to happen like that. It's very difficult to get, people to, look at stuff like that. Very, very difficult. We got Brother Exile in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? D Money said Asian natives, the Jews, Arabs, and white slave owners receive reparations. Yeah. Timothy said you can't talk about the Jewish people. They're not Black. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. D Money said it's always people with money trying to tell other people that they don't need money. Yeah. Yo, Lunch, what is up? What is up? We're doing pretty good. D Money said Europe got reparations from Haiti. Yeah. You talking about the French? Yeah. Haiti beat them so bad they sent them back with their tails in between their legs, and then the French was like, "This war isn't over because everything that we had to spend, you have to pay us back indefinitely, and we're going to make sure that we're going to add taxes and a nice layer of interest directly on that. You're going to be paying this for the rest of your existence." Yeah. Yep. Yo, Princess, what is up? What is up? Said they definitely still knew us even if we have land. Yeah. D Money said, my family has lost over 100 acres of land between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. We were fortunate to have the 20 acres left. Man. But yo, I will sit up. That's sad. I will sit up there and tell you, try to do some, do a little bit of it. It might take some hundreds, if not a few $1,000s, but do some digging, do some research. You might be able to come out and get a little bit more than what you got right now. Might be able to do that. Peace said the bank idea is a good one, but like you said, it'll never work if we don't trust each other. Yeah. And it's not even the fact that if we don't trust well, that plays a part, but it's also the fact that when it deals with Black people trying to come together, do anything, magically, there's all these other groups that come in and that just be just doing whatever. And like I said, these are paid operatives in order to cause, direct chaos to try to stop Black people from moving forward. Because I want people to pay attention. Whatever it is that any other group, right? Every other group does a very great, beautiful job at working together and pulling their community together, right? The Latins do it all the time. They got businesses, they got food trucks, they got communities doing great, beautiful work. The Asians do it, Africans do it, right? The Jewish community does it, white Americans does it, Asians does it, right? Everybody does it. Does a beautiful job, right? But when it deals with Black Americans trying to do it, notice how there seems to be people saying that, oh, this is a problem. This is being very divisive and separatist, Why are you just trying to make money by yourselves? Why are you just trying to save up money by yourselves? Why are you just trying to do your own side thing? You should be trying to do it with everybody, but everybody isn't doing stuff with us. But yet everybody always wants us to do things with them, always wants us to add them in. They want to be side by side. They want to be able to have an opinion. They want to be able to object, right? It's the craziest thing. But like I said, every other community does a very beautiful job at being able to invest, being able to uplift, being able to positively, move forward all of their communities, right? No matter how it is that they want to sit up there and do it, right? Everybody's pretty much left to their own, devices, right? And that's dope. I have no problem with that at all. Everybody is free to do whatever it is they want to sit up there and do, right? Uplift, empower their communities, push them to the stars. That is cool. My only issue is that when Black Americans want to do the exact same thing, there seems to be an added interest of people wanting to impede that success that everybody else is able to make, that leeway, right? And again, that's crazy to me. Again, I don't understand it. I do understand it, but again, I don't understand it. There's not even a reason for it, right? It's not like if Black Americans happen to pick themselves up, as a lot of people like to say, by their bootstraps, that automatically we're going to, just start doing, negative things to every other group or whatnot or whatever. It's not like we really need to be monitored, but we are monitored because of fear. And again, whenever it is that Black Americans want to move or want to do something, somehow, some way, everybody else wants to be connected to it. Everybody else wants to monitor. They want to overlook. Like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy work. What was it? Tim said, "Oh no, we need a military level budget for that. I'm sorry, America owes Black folks." Right? Pink said $2 billion. Timothy said, "We've been denied so much that they've betraying themselves to make up for what we don't have." Yeah, that's true. Yo, what is up, Ty? Ty says, Slim Thug trying to become relevant again. Yeah. Rabbit said, "Why even listen to a grown Black person call himself a thug willingly?" I mean, that's a great point. D Money said, "It's not a handout, it's a debt that is owed with interest." Bars. Let me see. Might as well take him too. Big Man said Trump is better than Biden. If you ask him what his name, I don't even know what you're talking about. Brother Exile said, "What is up?" You said on a 15. Oh, you're on a 15-minute break. Got you. Respect to all the attendants. Yo, Brother Exile, what would be? Let me know. You'll probably have to write it to me on PlayStation. Let me know the top 5 games that you are looking forward to on PS5. If you're still here, I'll probably have to sit up there and like write you or something like that. I didn't have to make. Timothy said I didn't have to make armor and an exit plan for a priority under Biden. Pink said because of the pandemic, I learned to make my own shampoo. Yeah. Same here. I learned how to make my own body butters. I learned how to make candles. Learned how to make soaps as well too. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Tim said, "Seji, hypothetically, let's say that money was put towards the community. Do you think they let us keep what we built this time?" No, they wouldn't. Because if they're able, if the money is in a sense like a physically standing type of deal, they can just hold ownership over the land. Because remember, the United States owns all of the land except for what it is that they decided to divert and give, divide up and give back to the natives or whoever. Other than that, the rest of it, the government owns. So they're going to be like, you got to pay this mortgage. You got to pay this lease. You got to do this. You got to do that. Right. Somehow, some way, they're still going to have a say so. And the city, the state, and whoever is still going to get money directly from us. So it'll be like, yeah, we built you guys these houses as a form of reparations, but you're still going to be paying us. I'm like, that's crazy. We shouldn't be paying nothing. Realistically, just to sit up there and be honest, shouldn't sit up there, build those houses, and we don't pay no taxes, we don't pay no rent, we don't pay no leasing, no nothing. We ain't paying nothing. But they're not going to do that though, because the problem that would happen is that everybody else around the United States, they'll be like, that's unfair that only the black community doesn't have to pay this and pay that. Why should we have to? My people went through slavery. My people went through things with the government. All this other. Like I said, somehow, some way, no matter how things are presented or moved in a certain way in order to help progress or to fix the history of how it is that black Americans are wrong, everybody else wants to be added in. You'll even start hearing Africans. They'll be like, "Oh, well, I've been here since my family been here since the 60s, and we sat up there and going through things and da 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 da. Why don't we get stuff?" Like I said, it'll be a whole mess. This is why there has to be a very strict type of deal. Black people can't sit up there and say that we're owed, the same reparations as the Jewish community when it deals with the Holocaust. We can't sit up and say that. Like, yo, America, y'all sitting up there paying them. Y'all should sit up there and give us some of those rubber. We can't say that. Just like when the Asians were put in the internment camps in the United States, both the Chinese and the Japanese, we can't sit up there and say that we need to take part directly in that because we're American. We can't do none of that. No matter what group of people that you have directly out here, it is very specifically stated, finite, who can get that money and who can't. And you don't see people having a problem with it. The only time that people got a problem with reparations or money being given back is when it deals with black Americans. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. Crazy work. Tim said that's because all we got is personal care to keep up with the white standards, right? Right. Let me see. GT Howard said they do a good job making sure that they exclude us. Bars. Timothy said every other community is attacked when they better them. Wait. Every other community is attacked when they better themselves, like the black community. Huh? I'm a little bit confused. Princess said, cool. I sell homemade lotions and hair products. Hey, shout out to Princess. Hard work and dedication. I'm taking it. Your stuff is directly on Etsy. I take it. Or whatnot. Matter of fact, I would say, wait, Princess, question is, are you a black woman by chance? Let me know if you are a black woman by chance. Timothy said the black community is in continuous state of fear from outsiders, and money is the only thing that we feel safe under, and money only makes us a bigger target. I mean, yeah, it would be a blessing and a curse, but we would just have to deal with it when if we ever get to that point. D Money said, I still pay property tax on land I own. Crazy work. Yeah, it is. Because I don't think the Native American. Let me see. Let me. Matter of fact, I love ChatGPT. Let me go to ChatGPT real quick. Let me just look up a new one real quick. New chat. Do Native Americans pay property tax in America? Huh, they do? That's crazy. So this is what we got. I typed in, do Native Americans pay property tax in America? They said, yes, Native Americans are generally required to pay property tax in the United States, but there are some exceptions depending on the location and the ownership status. Number one, tribal land or trust land. If the property is located on tribal land held in trust by the federal government, Native Americans who live on that land are typically exempt from the state and or local property taxes. This exemption is due to the special legal status of trust lands, which are the subject of state jurisdiction. Number two, free simple land. If a Native American owns property outside of trust land, in parentheses, in fee simple ownership, like most private property owners, they must pay property tax to state and local governments just like any other United States citizen. Number three, leased land. If non-native individuals or business lease tribal land, they may be required to pay taxes depending on the terms of the lease and local laws. In short, property tax obligations for Native Americans depend on whether the land is held in a trust by the federal government or is a privately owned land. So that's very interesting. Didn't know that. So, two different ways. One way, Native Americans are not don't have to pay property tax, but in another way, Native Americans do. Like I said, learning new stuff. Hopefully, other people are learning new stuff as well as I learn. D Money said there's a large group of Mexicans that are planning to protest hard any black progress towards reparations. They feel like I seen some of them. They got, one of them has like a podcast. Yeah, I seen them before. Like I said, I'm not too shocked, but that's mainly like some California, type of deal. You're not going to be able to really do that same nonsense in a lot of other black states. Like I said, certain areas you got a high population, other states you don't. Timothy said black folks got to learn how to achieve without solely relying on money. I can get that as well too, but the craziest part is when you look at everybody else, again, per example of the United States, white people, they got here. Well, first of all, they got here by way of chemical warfare, right? So a lot of the land and everything that they stole, including the terminology and the branding and title of being called an American, when originally that was given to the Aboriginal copper color people that were here. If you look up the original definition, they stole that. By way of chemical warfare, wars, and all of these other types of things, right? The main ones that wanted to call the quote unquote natives, the Aboriginals, savages, were actually the original savages, right? And by way of that chemical warfare, they were able to take the throne, take the name, and gain the land, aka the money that is here. So that can be it, the gold, silver, whatever other precious materials are there, and start to barter and trade with all the other places around the world, and start to get their money up real quick. So it's a little bit difficult to say that black people need to learn how to do things without relying on money when other people have in a sense done just that. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. I can get it to an extent, but I'm like, historically speaking, we gotta technically look at these things. What was it? Timothy said the black community is in continuous state of fear from outsiders, and money is the only thing. Okay, right. You said, let me see. Princess said, "LOL, yes, I'm black. My family is from America and look very much Indian, but I'm caramel because my mom is a white woman with dark hair." Or is that supposed to be white or is that light? I need to make an Etsy. LOL. I just sell to friends and family. Okay. So you are basically biracial in a sense, because I think you said your mom is white or light, but you said, oh, your mom's mom, so your grandmother. Okay, I got you. So for all intents and purposes, I would sit up there and tell you to start up a Etsy, right? Start up an Etsy. Oh, you're not biracial, your mom is. Okay, I got you. Send me. Oh, well, you don't have a page, because I was gonna basically tell you, like, all right, send me your information to like your IG or whatever it is that you got, but you don't got really anything set up yet. This is why I try to tell y'all, like, hey, set up a page, set up a site, different stuff like that, because just in case I happen to run into y'all, I'm like, oh, all right, let me just put this up real quick so people can just so happen to see it. I can't put nothing up. You gotta work with me. Y'all make it tough out here. I try to do a variety of streams and tell y'all, like, hey, start up a IG. Shout out to Miss Terry. I'm not even sure if she's even here right now, but she has an IG directly up where she has a lot of her oils and hair care products, beard products for guys, and different things like that on IG. I'm not sure if she has a TikTok, but yeah, that'll be the way. I'm trying to sit up there and tell you, trying to get you to have a side hustle real quick. Now, I will tell you this though. If it gets to a point where you decide to make this social media and orders start flying in, it might break your site. Because there was a black woman that had a site, and I think it's like every Black Friday she will put, I think it's like makeup or something that she sells. I kid you not. Every Black Friday in a row, her site ends up crashing because the amount of orders that she ends up getting. There was also a Black woman that had a site directly. She had a TikTok shop and she was selling products. She was the first person to hit 1 million in sales on TikTok. It was incredible. It was so incredible that TikTok themselves were watching and they called her to congratulate her. Dope. So, there's a lot of ways. D Money was like 10% finder's fees. That man right there. The funny thing is, like, I never, in a sense, like, think about, trying to get like a cut. I'm just like, hey, let me just, throw that directly out there. Let me give a, nice little shout out, stuff like that, all that other type of great stuff. Cause like, what was the one brother name? I can't even think of his name. Lord, because I want to say his actual name. If you check him out, I haven't been able to see his post on IG for a minute, which means that they have been shadow banning his content. I used to be able to see his shoes, clothes, all of that. But it's a brother called Devlin. That's what his name is. Devlin Carter, right? Brother named Black American Devlin Carter. He made a clothing brand called SIA Clothing. That is SIA Clothing, right? So if you were to type that in, you'll end up seeing his site. And it'll show, the shoes, the clothes, all of that stuff. Still to this day, I'm trying to, save up some money so I can actually, finally get some stuff directly for him. I actually want to get the membership that he has, like every, it's this vulture card that they have. That I always wanted to buy. I think it was like the card is about like $200 or $300, but it comes with like a field of different perks and things like that, right? But again, all Black company. He makes stuff pretty much in-house. He also teaches kids how to sew. He tells people to game and everything like that. I've showcased him on quite a variety of live streams, especially during the pandemic, to try to get people information on how to start a business, side hustle, and all of those things, especially coming from somebody who is specifically doing it and making money. And it's been to the point where this Black man who has this small collective of people who runs this business, he's bought them cars because they were loyal, because they worked, directly for him, and they didn't have any problems, no complications, no arguments, different stuff like that. That man sat up there and did a video where he was like, no problem, I got y'all. He surprised all of them and bought them. I think it was like a Mercedes or something like that. It might have been like a BMW or Mercedes or whatnot. And that was because of the amount of monies that they were able to bring in directly to that business, and because they worked there helping to work and everything. And like I said, I thought that was dope. I thought that was the most beautiful thing possible. And I think he's done some other things as well too. But these are the reasons why that when it deals with social media platforms like an IG, a Facebook, a YouTube, and whatnot, they want to, in a sense, silence, hinder, obstruct. They want to hide, that type of content because they don't want Black people getting into the mentality of like, yo, trying to not only do for self, but also do for the people that are, with you as well. They would rather have Black people have the mentality of being selfish, of, one for all for one, type of thing, where it's like it's a dog eat dog world. But yet you look at every other community and they're out here working with one another, making money. Right. Princess said, I will have one. I will have to make one and then send you the link for sure. Okay, I got you. Sham said, try to get the 60 listings for free because Etsy charges a small fee per listing, right? Princess said, I'm really good at making hair grease that isn't greasy too, and dry body oils that are moisturizing. That's dope. That is pretty dope. Yeah, like I said, whenever you happen to do it, make sure to send me the link or let me know directly whenever I happen to have a live stream, and I can happen to make a quick segue and slide that directly in there. Sham said, also, if you use Etsy, look out for those white women. They do work hard to sabotage your page, or they'll try to claim a patent. You can't patent crafts and arts when that doesn't work they steal. Yeah, that's another thing too to a lot of black women as well. Um, the craziest part is your quote unquote white female allies directly out here. They will do things to sabotage you, especially if you're trying to sell products and they notice that you're doing very well. They'll try to, in certain instances, they'll try to get your name, right? So let's say you came up with a name you might have AI generated or whatnot or whatever. They'll be like, "Oh, let me get this name real quick," and then they'll claim the name. Right, that's what somebody was trying to do to the Hillman College talk or whatever it was. You had somebody trying to basically claim that and do all of this other. I'm like, dog, y'all doing way too much, way too much. I'm like, as soon as black people get something cooking, here comes other people to try to capitalize or profit directly off of something that they did not specifically make. Crazy work. So I would sit up there and tell you to go out there and trademark. Once you happen to figure out what it is that you want to do, trademark doesn't cost that much, to in a sense get that done. There's a few websites to do that as well. And then once you do that, you can put that directly on the name. You can come up with how it is you want the name to show up, and you can either go to Fiverr or you can use AI or whatever it is and do that whole thing. But yeah, be very, very cautious with that. Be very, very cautious. Let me see what else we got. Sham said also, if you right, you also said barter and trade would work for farmers. Farmers currently have to take loans to buy seeds, and that is how the bank gets them. Sham said, yes, shampoos, lotions, and whatnot make a killing on Etsy. Just don't give away your recipe. List the basics, but don't put everything, and you can protect your recipe as well. Yeah, that's another thing too. Don't put everything on a bottle, because there's no need for you to put everything on a bottle. Because the moment in time that you put everything on a bottle, white women will roll up to the scene and they're like, "Oh, I got this brand new fancy lotion called African Wilds," and and then you'll just happen to see like the same thing that you created. Some white woman will get famous for. She'll be on Shark Tank, or she'll be on QVC, MSNBC, or something. She'll catch up with some random celebrity, and then she's pulling in millions of dollars, becoming a millionaire overnight. Like I said, it's like sort of like the TikTok thing that white people happen to do whenever black people are doing dances. And then they'll see how hot they are, and they'll be like, "Oh, let me just whip it, move it, bop it," right? And they'll start doing that whole thing. And then simple moves that they're doing, not even a full thing that black people are doing, and they got hundreds of millions of views. Now they're on the Ellen show. Crazy work. But like I said, people say that color doesn't exist. Color doesn't make a difference. It does when it's money. Let me tell you. Princess said, crying, said, "LOL, exactly." Sham said, "You saw how they tried to steal sick bonnets." Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. You had white women all over the scene talking about like, yeah, bonnets are the things that we please. What do y'all need bonnets for? Y'all literally just wake up and just call it a day. You just wake up, you might, spritz your hair with a little bit of water, put your fingers through it, and that's it. That's the hairstyle. Like, come on now. The madness. The madness out here is insane. It is insane. Princess said, "How can I trademark my brand name without getting a LLC?" You don't have to specifically, in a sense, get an LLC. You can do a DBA. You can do it that way. And those are actually pretty cheap to do. So just in case you don't want to go the route of doing an LLC or different things like that, you can do that. Where is what's the name? I'm trying to think of the name of the sites. I forgot. Oh my god, I had it right there. I actually had a few sites that I could have given to you as well, and it's right there, and I can't even list it. I cannot even list it, and it is going to kill me at this moment because I can literally. It's the craziest thing when you got something and it's like you can't specifically like say it or like read it, but you know exactly what it is. It's the craziest thing. Oh my goodness. It's almost like being on Jeopardy. It's some crazy work. But yeah, I say look it up. I would just say just type it in Chat GPT real quick, and or happen to go through some YouTube videos and type it in there. You'll get some videos or some things to come directly up for you. Mahoko said, "What is up? What is up? What's up? Nothing much. Nothing much." Sham said, "You still have to have a business ID when you open an Etsy because you have to pay taxes on your profits." Right. The other thing too is once let's say if you go for a DBA, you'll get some paperwork, right? And you got to sign that paperwork, and then you also have to take it to a notary, and preferably it's going to be at a bank, unless you know somebody who independently does notary. You would take it to that notary directly at the bank. Once they stamp it, you sign the papers, all this other type of stuff. They'll, do their little, get the copy of the paperwork or whatnot, whatever, give it back to you, and then you'll send it right back to said entity, whatever company that you're, getting your trademark or whatever through, or your DBA. And then once you do that, you'll get the paperwork directly back. And then you go from there, and you'll get some things dealing with the IRS, where you'll have like a 10, which is basically your business number, your digits that you'll use. And then I think you can go to Dun and Bradstreet, if I'm saying that correctly, to basically further that and whatnot or whatever. But yeah, you start looking through, going through those channels, and you'll be able to start to get business funding, like loans and stuff like that for your business. Because the main thing as well too is that you want your business separate from your personal business. So whatever your, let's say, your personal debt is or your personal credit is, you want that separate from your business, just like you want your business credit separate from your personal. You don't really want that both in the same. The other thing as well that I would state is that you would want to have a business account. So I guess that would be, whoever you use, like a Chase, Bank of America, or whoever, to make sure that all funds and everything is separate, along with, like a PayPal or PayPal, Zelle, Stripe, whatever it is that people just happen to use. Then from there, you could also use, let's say, something like Canva to come through with like QR codes. QR codes are basically the little images that people can put on items where they can scan it. Phone basically reads the code and it'll send you to a website, or allow people to basically order whatever that product is. So you can place that directly, let's say, on a TikTok or an image of your product or whatever website that you have. And like I said, it's a whole type of thing. Whole, different, type of this, a lot of stuff. Lot of stuff. What was it? Pink said the bonnets are for the hair that they don't wash. That's cold-blooded. Sham said, I think you can get a trademark for as little as $350. Some have fees. You'll need to do a yearly renewal as well. So make sure you put your trademark and product cost. Yeah, and you can also, once you do that as well, you can, claim that as well on taxes and and stuff like that. So you can get that money right back. Sham says small business accounts have better perks. Yeah. Yep. So so at any moment in time, Princess, you can probably just come back to this part of the live stream where we're at like 2 hours and 17 minutes. So I'll probably say somewhere at the 2-hour mark, maybe we started talking about this, possibly, and you can probably just come through directly with that. Sham said, LOL, y'all pulling out my business education. Hey, like I said, it's needed. Like I said, I know a little bit of stuff from things that I've done. And then you got people that have higher knowledge base, which will be Sham, that will be able to pretty much host and educate the whole thing. I'll be able to come in every now and again and throw some some things directly in there. But yeah, I think I want to say technically, let me see, did I have any other things directly up there I wanted to list? I think actually that's it. Yeah, actually that is actually it. As a matter of fact, yo, Ali, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is up? But yeah, I think that is actually a shout out to all 45 who are currently here. It's probably split up in between the channels if I were to look at this properly, as a matter of fact. Also, hopefully, any information that was listed, people are able to use, um, take something directly with them and everything like that. At the moment in time, what we got about overall 705 that have been able to see the live stream. So that is a pretty decent number directly up there. Pretty decent number. No problems directly with that. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. That is pretty much it. Went over quite a bit of things. Went over some information and different things like that. Sham said, if you do find a bank that likes your plan and you open a small business, see if you can qualify for a grant before you try to get a loan. That's a good point. That is a good point. Mahoko said, thanks for the live stream. No problem. No problem. What was it? GT Howard said, what is up? He said, I used to keep journals and recipes and rough schematics of inventions until I got evicted and locked up. Never had a recorder. They went through all of my stuff that I kept and created my ideas via a major corpse. Oh yeah, I believe it. Trust me. Trust me. I wish that there was some type of way that you would have had like a security box at like a bank. Like if there was like ever a time machine where you could just like go back and be like, all right, let me put all this stuff in this bank lockbox, bam, and then come back out. Your stuff is sitting, right there. Sham said, yeah, and if you have things like that, watermark it and lock it up in a safe. Yeah, that's facts. Yep. And they also do have watermarks that you can use on a variety of sites as well, so you can create your own watermarks and and things like that. Sham said, watermarking is a very easy way to say that this is your intellectual property. Yep. And that's the main thing that really matters in the world, which is the IP or the intellectual property. Whenever people happen to go on Shark Tank, that is the main thing that they ask of people. They were like, hey, do you have the paperwork for this? Do you have the intellectual property? Do you have ownership directly of it? Because ownership is the only thing that matters, right? It's great that you might be able to do this or do that, but if you don't have ownership, it's for them is basically worthless. They can't really do anything. They can do something with it, but they really want the actual property. They want to have that ownership directly over it. Like, for all intents and purposes, it's great having a house, but if you got ownership of the actual property, of the actual land, then we're actually talking, because you can do more than just that house. You can open up a business, you can make a farm, you can do a variety of things directly with that, inside and outside of that. Sham said, I watermark my art and sign my signatures into the work. Yeah, I used to do that as well too. When I would draw any of the drawings that I had, somewhere in there I would draw my name directly there. And a lot of people that like to steal art, they're not going to be able to see it. And that's the one, like I said, that's the one beautiful part about actually doing art. And the way that you actually draw, you can put your name in you could probably put your name, if you really wanted to, 99 different places all throughout their artwork. But then somebody want to come through and they want to try to steal a painting and do this and do that. I'm like, word, that's yours? That painting, you made that? Yo, that's crazy. But I'm like, the funny part about that is I see my name all throughout the background in that artwork. So how is that actually your artwork? What's your name again? What is your artist name? Because that's not the name that's in that background, right? Like I said, that's how you can catch people real quick. That is how you can catch people real quick. But yeah, pretty much that is it, guys. We been going for a nice 2 hours and 22 minutes. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation. Happy Friday to all at this moment in time. But I'm going to let you guys be free. Go out there and do the normal Uber Eats. Go out there and relax. Flex. Whatever it is that you do. Drive around. Get some fresh air. Go out there and see a movie, catch up on Invincible or something like that. Sham said, I'll show you my art on Steam, Sechi. Okay, I got you. Princess said, wow, I'm an artist too. Hey, see? That's how stuff starts. That is how stuff starts. Wait, Princess, do you play video games or no? Let me know. I actually keep the stream up just a little bit so I can try to see what's going on there. D Money said, I'm an artist too and a lefty. Yeah, that's that rarity type of thing right there. Because I'm used to like drawing on like the right hand. I think I tried to write like the angle and the way that you have to reprogram. Like the left controls the right and the right controls the left. So it's like when you're trying to do anything with your left hand, that's the right side of your brain basically working. So I would realistically have to retrain the right side of my brain on, because I'm even trying to fictitiously just trying to write in the air and my hand looks stupid. But if I'm trying to write with my right hand, it's like, bam, I can just, completely see it, cursive, makeshift, or invisible cursive, no problem. My other hand, I don't know what that is. That's chicken scratch. So it would take a long time to, really get that, done. Princess said, I don't play video games at the moment. LOL. I stay on YouTube though. That's crazy work. That is crazy work. Because the other thing I will sit up there and tell you as well too. The same thing for Sham, even though I know, she told me the whole thing with everything and whatnot. For a lot of women that just so happen to, like, let's say if Sham plays video games, right? So I'm going to use Sham for example. So if Sham wanted to, let's say, sell some body butters or whatnot or whatever, right? She could decide to have that posted on the video, right? So nobody can, in a sense, see her face. You can, of course, hear the voice and see her playing, right? But then when you're looking at the actual live stream, she can have areas there where you see the products that she sells, right? So you got your product placement, directly, right there, irregardless on whatever it is that people may, feel or say, like, oh, why you got these products here? It's blocking me from seeing the game. Miss those people. It don't even matter. Those weren't even actual real customers anyway, right? The main thing is to put your product directly in front of people so that they can see it. So if you are a female gamer and you do live streams, that's the best potential way for you to get more customers. Because just like I do live streams here, I got people that won't even, like, about 60, 70, 90% of people that come through these live streams don't even subscribe to the channel at all. One of these live streams that I did, I had about a good 30K that pulled directly through. And not even 1% of those people sat up there and subscribed. But those were still, if I did have a product I wanted to sell, those were potential customers that could have seen my product, that could have been made aware of whatever it is that I was doing, right? So, that's the main thing that I try to get through to a lot of women directly out here, that you guys have an easier or a better way in or option to sell your products or to get them directly out there, because women are going to support other women. Young girls are going to support women as well too. Mothers are going to support women, right? The whole world pretty much is going to support women when it deals with you guys coming up with products or, different things that you're interested in. So, again, you might not play video games, but just putting it out there. Or maybe you could just have a podcast just talking about just random stuff. I don't know. What was it? D Money said smearing half work. Right. Princess said my mom writes with the left hand too as well. Bars. Pink said hit that like button. Facts. GT Howard said Invincible was freaking out of this world this season. Need to do watch parties like I used to with Game of Thrones. Yeah. Sham said, yeah, you can just rub it on your arms if the you can just rub it on your arms in your video, and then people can ask what lotion. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like, use the product, while you're doing the what's the name? D Money's like 10% finest. Oh, yo. Princess said that's a good idea. LOL. Maybe I'll just make a YouTube channel. Hey, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I am telling you. First of all, I need D Money to sit up there and start making some channels. Need that to start happening. Start making some TikToks or something. Find this for you, brother. Find this for you. 10%. But yeah. That's pretty much it though. I ain't trying to keep this any longer than what needs to be happening. So shout out to all 32 people that's been here at the moment in time. I think, let me see on the other channel, what's the main thing that was going on here. I like looking at the stats. I can't even tell you how long people actually stayed. Let me see. What was the average duration? I think I can actually go look at it. I gotta back all the way out though. I gotta hit the live button. Average duration was about, we got about like 28 likes on the live stream. Hey, you know, it'd be like that. Be like that. 719 got 719 views. Average duration about 2 minutes and 44. 2 minutes and 44. So I got you. All right, so so actually looking at it, a lot of y'all are actually talking from the other channel, actually. If I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah. Yep. And also shout out to Chip Tooth Tony for writing George Takei around down there. I forgot to mention it earlier. But yeah, like I said, that's why I love doing live streams, because if I happen to forget something, you know, you guys could, you know, write it directly in the comment section and everything like that. So yeah, it's not bad for that one. I think let me look at the other one real quick, because I just realized this is the other what's the name real quick. Let me see what we got on this side. What we doing? We got about a good analytics. Yeah, okay, so y'all from the second one, right? So we got about, it's about even, right? But on the second channel, average duration is about like 5 minutes, 27 seconds. That's pretty good. Views about 808. All right, that's solid. I like that. No problem with that. No problems with that at all. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all people that decided to pull directly through. Hopefully anything that was stated in the video will be able to help people directly out there find their way on what it is that they want to do. D Money said, I want a cut of everything. The mafia does it. Yo, this man right here. Yo, this dude crazy. Let me tell you something. This man right here. But yeah, brother, I'm thinking probably go make some macaroni or something like that, because I got a nice block of cheese. Got my Kobe cheese down there. Probably about to make the macaroni I was supposed to make probably like a month ago. So yeah, y'all go have fun, go eat something, go make something, and go relax. So yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation. Value, respect, everybody. Shout out to any and all donations by way of any platform directly out there. Shout out to any new subscribers directly to the membership. Any new members to the membership on the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciate. And I will see you guys in the next live stream, and any or all videos that I posted, I will also have those for a video later on for you guys in the coming days as well. Peace out.